So the mad traveling rush is on. Why? Because this is a very big week. Yeah. Let's talk about some Turkey Day mistakes that I personally am trying to avoid. And I'll be back in a minute. Morning. Happy Thanksgiving week. Yeah. Hey, this is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. And I truly love helping people just like you and me save some hard earned money. Never forget those words, hard earned money. I think we have a tendency to do that. But this week for many they started trekking over to their friends and their families and their loved ones near and far to go home for Thanksgiving. Yeah. Now, listen, many of us love Thanksgiving, right? Okay. It really is a sweet holiday. And basically, it's all about being thankful and having gratitude. Nothing wrong about that. Across the board, in my honest everyone should be grateful and thankful. I'm telling you, here's some of the mistakes that I would like to avoid, and I know I will avoid one of them. I am sure that this has happened to at least one of my listeners today, probably more than one. How many of you? Well, let's get to the beginning, the turkey itself. Let's talk turkey about the turkey. Number one, this is Monday, right? And always habitually the Monday of the Thanksgiving week, if I'm home and I'm getting family over, even if I'm not getting family over and go somewhere, maybe bring some turkey, I take my turkey down from the freezer. When? Not last week, not Wednesday, but the Monday. I have this unwritten rule of law. The Monday of Thanksgiving week, I take down the turkey from the top freezer and let it sit in my fridge. I don't let it sit on the counter from Monday through Friday. I mean, Thursday. No. Freezer to fridge. Freezer to fridge, Monday. Now, the next thing that I was going to mention earlier, and please forgive my froggy throat, these allergies just won't quit this month. Anyway, make a long story short, I think almost every young person that in the history of roasting a turkey has inadvertently left the giblet bag inside the turkey. Yeah. That happened to me back in the early 80s. But you know what happened? Even though I took down the turkey on Monday, the interior of the cavity, some of it was still frozen, and it felt like bone. And I thought that I removed some objects that were in the bag, but I didn't. I removed other objects, but it wasn't that object. So I was like, oh no. Could I still eat the turkey was perfect. The turkey the turkey worked out, but of course, just always knowing that that bag was roasting inside the cavity of the turkey, even though it turned out delicious, mentally, like, left, like, I don't know, it just could not enjoy it. I'm just saying. Has this not happened to you? So here's two mistakes to avoid: making sure that your turkey is defrosted properly. Now, it all depends on your size, it all depends on your circumstances, et cetera. But look it up. Look it up. Three, not checking for information specifically about your bird. Usually, I buy Butterball. I'm just saying the facts. I used to also buy from a company called Norbest or Shady Brook Farms, and they were great. This year, I'm doing it a little differently. It's still a butterball, but I'm doing just the turkey breast itself, okay? Because I had another Thanksgiving last week. Remember I mentioned this on a previous video that I'm having two Thanksgivings? So I'm okay, with part two of a two-part series, just being the turkey breast. Now, here's the thing. This one is like completely boneless. and it insists that you keep that mesh on top of it. Ew. To me, that seems gross, but that's to me. But I get why, because they don't want it to, fall apart in the roasting process. I kind of get that. Also, there is the option to roast the bird straight from the freezer into your oven. I'm sorry. I still might use my discretion. And honestly, on this second Thanksgiving, I'm okay if the boneless breast collapses in the process. So I don't really care if that knitting is on. Now, am I making a mistake? Let me know in the comments section below. If you've ever done one of those, did you remove that interior? I'm not talking about the external meshing that you have to in order to get the bird out in the first place. But let me know in the comments section below, is it a mistake if I take away that netting? I know it says on the package directions, do not remove it. There must be a reason. And I think it's because it will fall apart. But like I said, personally, I don't care if it falls apart. And also, it says that you could shovel it in from frozen. I'm not comfortable about that. It'll take a little longer. And I'm really just like, no, no, no. But maybe that's because I had already a Thanksgiving the previous week. You see where I'm going with this? Anyway, let me know in the comment section below. Another thing to avoid, and I've mentioned this many, many times, um, I do not discuss sensitive topics. I will not. I personally will not. If other people do, they do. I sit there silently. I just, I'm a good listener, whatever. And I just rather, just be the cheerful Jan that I am, because that is not the place, that moment in time, people gathering together that have not seen each other in quite a long time. Honestly, is that the appropriate time to bring up sensitive topics? Because let me tell you something, I am quite opinionated about certain topics. I can never talk about them here, and I will not talk about them here. Let's just say this: even I know time and place, not at the holiday table, not with people you have not seen in a long time. And by the way, just for the record, the entire world is not necessarily getting together, with a ton of family, whatever. People could be just as happy at home, even if they're by themselves, technically, or if they're with a loved one person. Who cares? It's about being grateful. And even if somebody listening to this right now is by themselves for the holiday, I know you're probably a very grateful person, and you could treat yourself to a fancy schmancy meal. And I say to you, you go to it. You could do yourself up a wonderful Thanksgiving and have gratitude and watch some wonderful videos and make some phone calls and all the things that make you happy, because sometimes people cannot necessarily travel. Okay, so sometimes people cannot necessarily travel, and it's not the end of the world if a person is by themselves on the Thanksgiving holiday. It's all about giving thanks. That's why I rather talk about gratitude, happy stuff, laughter, good jokes, things of that. I'm just saying my opinion on that. So getting back to a thing that I avoid getting into sensitive topics. Those sensitive topics are not going to be resolved at the Thanksgiving table in our homes or apartments. Goodness sakes, the people who are involved in those sensitive topics can't seem to figure out an answer to certain things, even in a formal manner. So why should we ruin our holiday? Am I right or am I right? Don't even have to answer that. I'm just saying, just saying. But again, opinion. Next big mistake to avoid, and I always avoid this, okay? Don't throw away leftovers so soon. No, 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 no. Don't do that. I don't know how many times I could say this. When people do that to me, it's almost so wasteful. It's almost a sin in my mind's eye. There are people out there who consider our scraps their Thanksgiving meal, and I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. And by the way, anybody that has been donating to their local food pantries, a big fat kudos to you. I'm really, really, really happy that you do that, because there are a lot of unfortunate folks out there that rely on stuff like that. Just saying, just saying. So let us not ever forget, ever, in our own ways, whether it's through prayer, whether it's through donations or volunteer time. It's all a good thing, right? It's all a good thing. Just saying, just saying. So please don't waste leftovers. I call them do-overs anyway. Do you know how many different things you could do with leftover turkey? I'm just saying, lots. Including making up packets, little packets that you could put away in your freezer. They're already cooked anyway. Then when you need them, you put take the packet down. You could throw them into a croquette. You could make it into a soup or a stew. And by the way, those bones, yeah, 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 yeah. Turkey soup is delish. I love turkey soup. Have you ever had that? In case you have not ever tried that, please make it a point to do so. Just saying, just saying. The other thing is, another thing people might consider avoiding is to remember that person that might be by themselves, to check in on the elderly or the disabled that maybe cannot get out and about type thing, or have many, many relatives that live afar. Hey, how you doing? Happy Thanksgiving. Or, maybe drop off a little package or something, a little thoughtfulness of kindness. Just, not in like I'm giving you charity kind of way, just in more like a genuine, "Hey, how you doing?" kind of way. It's things like this that make the holidays extremely special. Living, with greatness in your heart because you want to. This is all the fun stuff. Now, this is also another big day of this week. So while many people will be sleeping off their holiday turkey on the sofa, maybe, watching football or something to that effect, or whatever, there are many amongst us who are getting ready for the big old Black Friday event. Ta-da! And some stores start opening very, very soon. Some stores open, let's say 9 p.m. on Thanksgiving. I'm just using that as an example. I'll just use that as an example. Are you going to do that? Have you bagged some really good Black Friday deals? I want to hear from you in the comments section below. Have you ever gotten really great deals? Or do you prefer to wait till Cyber Monday? Cyber Monday. Now, some people love that rush of excitement. Remember a few years ago, people used to camp outside of the stores to get in first, to get online, to get into the stores. Do they still do that? I really don't know because I'm more like a Cyber Monday kind of gal. When I was much younger, I had the patience of, well, no, looking back, I didn't encamp myself outside of the store, but like I would just maybe just go shopping that day. As I've got better in the last 15, 20 years, Black Friday notoriously for me is hot chocolate, fuzzy slippers. I'm not kidding. Hot chocolate, fuzzy slippers, put on my Christmas music, write out all my Christmas cards that are going out to my loved ones, okay? Making sure, checking my list twice that my Christmas gift giving. I had to, unfortunately, this year because of inflation and everything else. I had to trim my gift giving list down considerably. I had to do it. I had to confine it just to my family members, just my family members, and not that I don't love my friends. I certainly do, but like everybody else that has to, I will not live beyond my means. I just will not do that. Why? Because January still comes. And I give that speech 100 times every year. So I rather have a clear thing in January than worry about stuff like that. And my real friends understand. Did any of you have to make any modifications on your shopping list? And I saved, and I saved, and I saved for this, shopping period. But I just like narrowed it down this year. This year, nope. I had to go a little bit leaner. I'm just saying the truth. This is real life. There's no shame in being honest. I had to trim it down to my family. Well, in any event, from the bottom of my heart, I want to express to you, even though it's not actually Thanksgiving Day yet, but it is the beginning of Thanksgiving week. Please know that I really do appreciate every single one of you. Wishing everybody a wonderful holiday week. I'll come back on Thursday on a pre recorded show, of course. Again, wishing you guys a happy Thanksgiving and maybe a few fun questions to go with it. There you go. Everybody have a great, amazing, fantastic day. Enjoy your pie baking. Have safe travels. all the good stuff always from me. I wish everyone the very best.